If you now think that Øystein has had this amazing reading month where he has read like 20 books, you're incorrect. It's quite the opposite. Welcome to my channel, I'm Øystein and I read a lot of books, but this month has been kind of special and I'll try to explain why and also show you the books that I have read in November. I'm currently reading War and Peace by Leo Tolstoy. I'm 2/3 into it now and let's just say that I'll share my thoughts when I'm finished. Probably also in a separate video this time because I haven't spent this much time without actually talking about it, I guess. So that has been my main project and I'm not finished, but I sort of realized that I'm maybe in a reading rut, or am I just reading the wrong books? So one of the books I've tried reading this month is The House of the Spirits, or The House of the Spirits by Isabel Allende. I've read one of her books before. That one I kinda enjoyed, but I read it whilst on holiday in Chile, so it's difficult to know if it was the swimming pool or the actual writing that did it for me. But anyway, this book I've tried starting 3 times, and now I'm officially giving up, and I believe it's all about the magical realism that I've talked about earlier, and it's... I don't know. I've tried both reading it and listening to it with my ears, but it hasn't worked, and I'm happy to say that I'm now saying goodbye to this one. So I'm unhauling this, and it has been some time since I unhauled the last time. So anyway, I'm getting rid of it, and it makes me happy. So I feel like that's one step in becoming a better reader, just getting rid of the books you don't want to read. So hooray me. Then I picked up Mobe is My Washpot by Stephen Fry. I do really love Stephen Fry, and this is actually one of the first books I bought when I started this channel, so I thought it was about time that I got to reading it, but I didn't feel the vibe. I won't be unhauling it, but I think I will be saving it for later. I haven't yet decided. I feel like this is one of the areas where I improve as a reader, is just letting go of them and maybe pick them up later. I have not decided, but am I in a reading rut or am I just reading the wrong books? It's difficult to say sometimes, but I will let this rest for a moment. Before I go any further, I have to say that I've DNFed like 1 book earlier in my life, so DNFing a new book, it feels great, and putting books on hold is something I've never done, so this is why I feel like this month has been an improvement. And the next one is Maggie Shipstead with Great Circle. I've read about 100 pages in this one and then stopped, and I haven't felt any shame. Like no shame at all. I've just put it down and let it sit and rest, and it doesn't bother me at all. I found it to be interesting enough, but I am not feeling it. And this is me, like, I have 7 books left for my reading goal this year, and I really have to get to that reading goal, so I'm not light-hearted about it, but it feels great. Then over to a book I've actually read, and it's this. It's The Kite Runner by Khaled Hosseini. My mom loves this book, and so does a lot of other moms and people in general. It's about this 12-year-old boy in Afghanistan. He likes to run with his kite, and they have kite running like competitions. He has this friend or slave, or it's difficult to explain, but he has this person that he treats very badly, and one day he will regret this and starts on the journey to find redemption, I guess. And on his journey we get a lot of information about Afghan history. So I think what I found compelling about this one is how little I like the main character. He is not a likable person. He is a bad human being, at least for a big chunk of the book, and that's sort of the whole thing. But I spent a lot of time getting into it. I felt it was really slow, really dwelling, and also it's borderline magical realism, maybe over the border at some point, but it's not like full Paulo Coelho, so it was okay. At times it's also exciting, but I found what I found to be exciting to be all about violence, and that didn't really feel great. I get how people might get caught up in this one because it touches on the very human feelings of regret and friendship and love and all of those kinds of things. And I have the 2 other ones standing in my shelf behind me. I think it's a trilogy, but I do not think they will be read, so if I unhaul those as well, this will be a great month for me. So, I don't know. Do you like cliches? Then this is for you. I don't know if cliche is the right word. I was surprised, but also not very surprised. Then over to the last book I finished, and it's Macbeth by Shakespeare. So, I read Hamlet earlier this year or last year, doesn't matter, but I read the same translation. This is by Edvard Hoem, a Norwegian writer and obviously translator, and it has like the Norwegian and the English translation side by side. I really like that. I found this to be very useful because sometimes the Norwegian translation can be a bit confusing, and then when you read the English one it sort of makes sense most of the time. I was a bit surprised of the magical element in this one. You have the three witches and their prophecies. It's not like Hamlet didn't have the supernatural element, but I don't know, something about this one made me question myself even more. When I read, I sort of had to go on Wikipedia 1/3 into it and like, is this actually what is happening, or am I missing something? So it can be, or to me it was a bit confusing, but after that it was kind of fun. And a lot of weird stuff happens, and a lot of crazy people are involved in this story. I did talk to a friend of mine about this after I read it, and when she talked about her favorite parts in it, it added so much more, so maybe I will have to read it once more. It's a short read, as you might expect, and it's filled with references, so there is something to be said about that as well. If you have a suggestion for where I could continue with Shakespeare, please comment below, because I really have to continue this adventure. It's something that I really didn't anticipate, that reading Shakespeare could be fun, so I'm really enjoying that part of this whole thing. Objectively, this might be considered my worst reading month ever, but I'm enjoying it. I'm finally picking the reads I want to, and I'm putting the books I don't feel like reading down. So all in all, 10 out of 10. So I hope you have a wonderful day. Thank you for watching this video, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye! I forgot one thing, and that is, if you've read a fantastic novel this month, please comment below, because I need fantastic novels, and also I'm very curious to see what my viewers like book-wise, I guess. So that's it. Bye!